And if they haven't gone in, they've been really close. Just about as stress-free a championship major Sunday that you will ever see. Xander Schauffele in at 9 under, 65. His second major championship about to become official. He had that label of the best player to not win a major not too long ago, and all of a sudden he's got 2.
Yeah, it's an honor. I've always dreamt of doing it. That walk-up 18 truly is the coolest, with the yellow leaderboards and the fans and the standing ovation. It really is one of the coolest feelings I've ever had in my life. I got chills walking down and quickly had to zap myself back into focus because the tournament wasn't over yet. So, you know, I can't wait to enjoy this with my family.
The Kansas City Royals.
It's a squeeze. Here comes Garcia, and the Royals tie the game. Isbell's out at first, but the run scores.
Hit one, a sac fly or better.
Serve to right, and the Royals take the lead. Wentz in to score. Hunter Renfroe delivers, and it's 2-1.
Okay, maybe not.
Garcia sends one to left. It's down for a hit, and that's another Royals run. The Royals have the lead, and now they've got some breathing room. That is a mix of let's go Royals and let's go Lugo.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's all Lugo, man.
The 34-year-old, his first season as a Royal, a first-time All-Star, delivers a complete game, and it polishes off a sweep.
You go, we go, Lugo. Congratulations, a CG. Put that on your mantle. Save that baseball.
Yeah, I mean, what do you say about that? The efficiency, the strike throwing, all that was phenomenal. And I'm just really happy that he got not only the complete game, but the win, because the only, the run that he gives up is a 2-strike hit batter. I mean, they got the 2 hits after that, but he definitely deserved to win that game.
Chiefs.
Chris, you mentioned them rings. How much does it motivate you and drive you to chase a three-peat, something that has never been done before?
I think chasing history is all part of it, man. When a lot of players retire, they always say they want to lead a game better than when they started. And if we can get this three-peat and just continue to adding to the legacy of the Kansas City Chiefs, I think that'll be a huge accomplishment, not only for us but for the NFL.
Some new stuff for the rookies, and they were able to handle what they had learned last week and coming in earlier in the week and then today. So I'm happy for that. Both sides of the ball, I thought, competed well. Special teams looked good. Ariza looked like he was booming it out there a little bit, and so good day for that.
Worthy had a big day today, had a couple nice catches. What have you seen so far from the kid in camp?
Yeah, he's been working hard. Looks like his hamstring feels better. We just got to keep him going here and keep learning. We're just one install into it, and they've got 12 of them. So he's got a lot more information coming at him, and formations and shifts and motions and all that stuff. So, but he did a nice job today.
Well, hello there, Kansas City. This is a very soft-spoken Stephen St. John. Today, I'm using my bedroom voice. Because I'm in my bedroom at the Stony Creek Hotel and Conference Center in St. Joseph, Missouri. I'll be in Barley's Bar tomorrow. But today I didn't have any guests coming over here, and I just felt like doing the show in the hotel room. So hope that's all right. A little bit of a laid back approach.
Oh boy,
this will be a very tender episode of New Day with SSJ.
Are Nate and I supposed to whisper in the studio?
No, you guys can be loud.
I want us to talk like this, too.
No. Susan's already got a pillow over her head. She's had enough of this show already. So.
She's had enough of you talking to Jake for 20 minutes down the line.
Right. I think she's had enough of me showering and
Oh, you're cleaned up. That's good.
Ready. Oh, yeah. I got to be fresh. I got to do this show fresh. I got to feel good, feel crisp, and I do. And so, but tomorrow I'll be back down in Barely's bar.
Be dirty down in the bar?
I believe if everything holds to plan, I'll be visited by Gary Pinkel up here. And he'll stop by and talk with me before he heads over to visit Chiefs training camp and watch practice. And so, and then I think on Wednesday, I think Pete Sweeney might stop by and have a live conversation with me down in the bar. And then on Thursday, no one's going to be up here because there's no practice on Thursday. And then Friday, free for all. I could be anywhere on Friday. Who knows?
Nobody knows.
Yeah, that's too far ahead. I won't look that far.
We're going day to day. We're literally day to day.
Well, that's what I thought. I just said, you know what? Just last night, I was watching House of the Dragon, and then I just had I'd had a succulent Japanese meal yesterday because we had fun yesterday. We went to we went shopping. Which was that's a blast.
Why do you always go school shopping during this?
No. They were just this was a fashion.
Oh, just fashion shopping, not school shopping.
Yeah, I sat in a chair for 45 minutes at one point and played Retro Bowl on my phone and won the championship. So
good.
That was good. Yeah,
congratulations.
We had ice cream, and then I met a couple of great listeners outside the big ice cream cone on the Belt Highway. Everyone knows where that is.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had Japanese steakhouse. Have you ever been to a Japanese steakhouse where instead of throwing shrimp in your mouth, they squirt sake in your mouth?
No, I haven't. Is that how they do it up in St. Joe?
I was real. So I didn't know what was going on, and so and it was.
They have it in like one of those dispensers. They just squirt it.
It was a wonderful lady. Who was our chef, and she just yelled sake, and she grabbed like a ketchup bottle, and she pointed at me. I said okay, and I opened my mouth, and she squirted it, and I didn't know when to stop. And kept going and going and going, and everyone's clapping, and then I closed my mouth and got all over my beard, and so
not in your eyes though. That's a good shot.
And then Susan did sake. And then she looked at Phil. She goes, "How old are you?" And he looked at me. He goes, "I'm 21." And she goes, "Sake." And she squirted it. She feels like it was the realization hit him yesterday that he was 21. It was fantastic. Wait a minute, I can do this.
Didn't have to show though. Just said it, verbal.
But that was that was a very pleasant surprise at the Japanese steakhouse. I didn't know that happened.
That's new to me. I have not been to one where they sake shot everybody.
And then instead of shrimp, they threw broccoli in our mouth.
Oh,
so,
vegetarian options.
Healthy.
Yeah, well, just letting you know, there's fun to be had up in St. Joe if you look for it. And we drove around Krug Park for a while. Very nice, mild day up here, and so we had a good day. That was after I attended practice.
Full practice, right? I mean,
full practice.
Big crowd, right?
Oh, yeah.
Denim, haircut, backpacks, come get your backpack.
Boots and pants and
the boys love this.
New shoes, get yourself an outfit. Denim,
boots and pants and boots and pants.
Haircut, new shoes, so get yourself back to school with these tails.
We did go to East Hills Mall. But everything that we tried to go into was closed at like 4 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, so that didn't work out. But we'll be back.
No boots and pants, huh?
No, but it's there. We always stop by there just to say hello. But yes, practice was yesterday at 9:15. It was the first practice for the full squad because all the veterans reported on Friday, and then they were off on Saturday. And so you remember last week on Tuesday, quarterbacks and rookies and select veterans who were coming back from injury reported. And then they had a few practices. And then Saturday or Friday, all the veterans reported, the full team reported. And then Saturday they were off. So yesterday was the first team practice and also the first practice where it was open to the public. And so it was a giant crowd. And it was, let me tell you, sign me up for whatever weather that was yesterday. It was cool. It had a breeze. It was just delightful. And that was one of the best weather days of practice that I've been up here.
It's like River Falls.
Oh, it was just magnificent. And then, Leabo, check my work on this because I want to make sure. I believe today is season ticket member day.
Yeah.
So it's closed to the public. So it's only season ticket members. But I met a couple of season ticket members. I met a wonderful red coater while we were having ice cream, and she loves the show, so thank you. But the story yesterday, and again, we're not going to go too far either way. We're not going to go to extremes with what we see in a day or a week up here at training camp. But I'm just going to be honest with you because that's all I can do. You guys know that this show is brutally honest, and we just tell it like it is unless we need to lie. Then we lie about something.
This is the time for truth right here, though, right?
This is the truth. And by the way, if you're wondering, we have a full complement of people here. I'm up in St. Joe. We have Todd Leabo, and we have Nate Bukaty, and we have Jake Gutierrez. The boys are playing some ball, and the boys are back in town, and we're together.
Football season, baby.
This is very good. And so I'll just tell you, the main takeaway that I had after watching practice yesterday, and I'm just being honest, is, oh, my God, how did the NFL let the Chiefs have Xavier Worthy? And it's just one day, and I'm not sitting here telling you he's going to be a superstar or anything else. But I'm watching that because you guys saw the videos. I took one video of a nice adjustment that Xavier Worthy made on a pass and caught the ball and got up, ran to the end zone.
That is awesome.
And then if Leabo knows this, you guys know this. So we're up here, and they say, okay, it's okay, you go ahead and film. And so all the TV people there will film practice, and then a bunch of us that either writers or radio dum-dum over here can record things on our phone. And if we could post the clips or whatever. And so in the open portion of practice, but they can't control anyone else in the crowd. They just control who's in the media tent. And so in the open portion of practice, that's when I got that first play from Mahomes to Worthy. And then after they said, okay, cameras down, can't film this portion of practice. Then Mahomes had this running to his left, throwing from an awkward angle, 40 or 50 yards down the field to who? Xavier Worthy.
Yeah.
It's just, and you're watching this, and you start laughing, and you're thinking, Buffalo made this trade with the Chiefs, and they're going to once again live to regret it, and there's going to be a conversation at some point this season. I can just see it right now on a Monday morning on all the debate shows or on ESPN or Good Morning, what is it on NFL Network? Good Morning Football.
Well, if they bring it back, it's not on anymore right now.
Well,
but,
whatever.
Whatever your
Whatever
choice
it
of
is.
watching something is, there'll be a debate.
There's going to be a topic. How did the NFL let the Chiefs draft Xavier Worthy, or something like that? Whatever. It was just, and the kid, hey, he's battled a hamstring injury. He looked good yesterday.
Does he still have the big wrap on his hamstring?
He looked. Everything looked good.
Because last week he had that wrap on, and they're going to ease him into it a little bit. So I'm super excited about his future for sure. But Buffalo traded twice, right? They traded down again. Was it with the Niners? They traded 2 times or something. They got all the way out of the first round, and they drafted
No,
that.
it was the Panthers.
Panthers.
Traded back to 33.
See, and that's fine. They could trade with the Panthers all day long. What you have to understand is this. I don't care if I am in Buffalo's front office. You say the right things. You know what? They're just worried about improving their own team. They can't. No. I'm not trading with the Chiefs.
Right.
I'm not
right.
allowing the Chiefs to move up. I'm not assisting the Chiefs in drafting the player that they want. I will politely say, you know what? It's not enough for us to make this deal because we're not going to wear this for the next 6 or 7 years. If you want somebody, go trade with someone else. We're not open for business for you. Just not doing it. I'm not doing it.
But after they won that Patrick Mahomes trade the way that they did,
I'm not doing it. Because don't you know when they play Buffalo and there's a
the Bills
touchdown
beat
from,
the Chiefs all the time, Stephen.
From
It's
Mahomes
just
to
regular
Worthy.
season.
It's just I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
I thought the Bills were pretty wild at the draft because they lost 2 of their best wide receivers to free agency and trade type things because they were getting expensive. It's a Josh Allen team. They're trying to be like, well, the Chiefs, they don't need Tyreek Hill, whatever. They got Patrick Mahomes. But it was curious to trade with the Chiefs and trade out of the first round.
Curious is a word.
I want to watch. What's the kid they drafted is the kid with the fun personality. What's his name? Talks about buying the cheap coats at half-price store. Keon Coleman or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I want to watch Keon Coleman and Xavier Worthy's careers. That is a great thing to watch with those two because of the trade you talk about, Stephen. Because they could have had Xavier Worthy for sure.
And that's fine. Even if they didn't want Xavier Worthy, I'm not helping the Chiefs get anyone they want.
Exactly.
I'm just not doing it anymore.
Don't trade with the Chiefs. Trade with the Panthers all you want.
They've haunted. Buffalo 3 times now. Buffalo could have gone to the Super Bowl, and 3 times now the Chiefs have ended their season in the playoffs. And it's not over. It'll happen again. And maybe somewhere down the road, maybe at some point the Bills will get them. But the damage has already been done. When the Bills were at their peak, at least this version of the Buffalo Bills, their season was ended in heartbreak at the hands of the Kansas City Chiefs. It happened in regulation. It happened in overtime. It happened in Kansas City. It happened in Buffalo. It happens here. It happens there. It happens everywhere. And so that's what popped into my head watching that. And, dude, you could just tell Mahomes, he's always enthusiastic up here. But he just can't wait to throw the deep ball.
Mm-hmm. He's got a lot of energy.
Daddy's got his weapons back, and then I'm not even talking about Hollywood Brown running around out there. We thought that was going to be the only real upgrade for a while, but then they drafted Xavier Worthy. So be ready when you do come up here to have fun watching Patrick Mahomes and these new toys, and then you just because we get all wrapped up in different storylines. And why a team does this or what a team needs or why they do that or what trade they made. It's very simple. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl last year with no consistent deep threat. And now they've added 2.
How are you doing? How are y'all doing?
And Xavier Worthy was the fastest wide receiver in the draft. And of all teams that should not have been able to get him, Kansas City should have been at the top of the list, but they got him, and they traded up with Buffalo to get him. And the Chiefs, honestly, they should not have been able to afford Hollywood Brown. Look at all the other wide receiver contracts that were signed in the offseason. But somehow Burrow comes here for 1 year for a 1-year deal that could be worth $11 million. And the team's going to have that discussion. Now, why did Hollywood Brown sign a 1-year deal? I guess because he wants to win a ring. That's why. And so it's yesterday was a lot of fun up in camp, a lot of enthusiasm. Now, it was a short practice. Man, I think they were done. I don't even know if they were out there for an hour. We were back in the media room probably by 11 or 11:10 because they weren't lunch was not ready. We got there quicker than they anticipated. So they had to make some adjustments, and they had so they were going to bring lunch out at 12, and so they brought it out at 11:30, a Sunday pot roast.
Yeah, when I was up there last Wednesday, same thing happened to me, and I didn't have time to wait around.
Yeah,
I missed lunch, buddy.
Well, I waited, and so it was maybe around an hour. It was a short practice. It was a spirited practice. It's the ramp-up period right now, and the first padded practice is scheduled to take place on Friday. And so if you're thinking about coming up here for a practice, I would circle Friday's practice, the first padded practice, and that'll be the practice after a day off. And so I'm going to go ahead and guess they're going to get after it on Friday in pads, so that should be fun. So maybe circle that if you're thinking about coming up here to watch practice. All practices start at 9:15 a.m. just to give you an idea. And you got to get on there, and you got to make reservations or do all that stuff on Chiefs.com, right?
Yeah, tickets are free for every day except for they weren't yesterday. There's only 2 other days that'll cost $5.
Today was $5, yeah.
Yeah, but the others are free, but you have to reserve a ticket. Mark Donovan told us last week. There was a big crowd there yesterday, but if you get more people than about 5,000, the experience isn't as fun for the people. So they do cap the number on that. So if you want to plan it out, you got to plan it out. Don't just wake up and go, "Oh, I want to go up there." You may not be able to get a ticket.
Yeah, I would have to say yesterday was probably, that was a picture-perfect day as far as crowd size, getting in and out, and just what we saw on the field and the weather and everything else. It was a beautiful first full day of practice. And this happens, and so everyone's excited about that. And a couple of people stopped me when I was walking to the media tent and said, "Hey, SSJ, how about them Royals?" I said, "That's right," which is a very unique experience when you're at training camp.
It's been a while.
Because I will suggest to you that nobody stopped me and said, "How about them Royals last year?" when I was walking to the media tent.
How about those Royals, huh?
It's been several years since that happened. And so if you think about it, we really haven't experienced the Royals being good in the Patrick Mahomes era.
No, absolutely not.
And so this is a much different dynamic when you come up here to watch Patrick Mahomes, and at the same time, you're still keeping your eye on the Kansas City Royals after they did what they were supposed to do. Now, look, what did I say on Friday? I said, you don't have to sweep them, because sometimes in baseball, that's just not how it works. But you got to win this series. You got to win all these series against teams that are beneath you, especially if it's a Kauffman Stadium. Well, job well done. They went out there and they held the White Sox to 1 run in each game. They beat them 7-1, 6-1, and 4-1. They swept the White Sox. And now things have tightened up in the Central. They are only 5 games behind Cleveland. They are tied with the Minnesota Twins, so they're back tied for second place. And right now, as we speak, they are back as a wild card team because Boston falls back, and right now the Yankees are 3.5 up, and the Twins and the Royals are tied for the second, basically, and the third wild card spots with the Red Sox, a game out. And so that sweep has thrust the Royals back into wild card contention, into a spot. And you look, the Yankees lost 2 in a row, the Twins have lost 3 in a row, the Red Sox have lost 3 in a row, and the Royals have won 3 in a row. So boom, boom, boom. The second half has started just the way we hoped, even better than we've hoped, because the other teams around the Royals are losing, and now the Royals sit at 55 and 45 right now. Let's see if Jake, Nate, or Leabo are paying attention before we break. What is significant about the Royals being 55 and 45 right now?
Well, I think last year they won 56 games, so they're only 1 win from last year's total. Is that the significance or something more?
No, that is significant, but that's not what I'm referencing. Nate Bukaty or Jake Gutierrez.
They're 10 games over 500.
That would
That's
be 11,
true.
wouldn't it? 55.
Both
45.
of those things that you said.
Is it 11?
No, for 10? That's 10,
Yeah.
not 44.
I feel like
10. You're good at math. He good count.
Todd had me really confused for a second there.
What?
I thought I was stating like an obvious,
They haven't been 10 games over since
I'm going to go ahead and
2015?
say the last 2 times they were 55 and 45, they won the World Series.
Okay, here's the deal. I don't like when you cheat.
I didn't cheat.
That's too obscure of a fact for you
Are
just
you
to pull out of the
cheating,
air.
Jake?
What? Where would
You
I
saw-
be cheating?
On Twitter,
The 3 different computers you're looking at right
I don't
now.
no.
Because
He's holding his hands in the air. He's not doing
He's got his hands in the air.
Look,
I'm just smart like that.
okay.
Deductive
Like back
reasoning.
in school, when you were going to cheat on a test,
100%.
don't cheat where you get an A.
No, you get
Cheat where you get a
100%.
B.
None wrong.
If you're gonna cheat on writing an essay, don't write an A+ paper. Write a B- paper.
Words to live by. This is for the interns.
Don't raise any red flags.
Steven here.
You just turned in an A+ paper, and there's red flags everywhere. Okay. MLB
I wrote the
tweeted
answer on
last
the bottom
night,
of my shoe.
Yes, you did. The Royals have won 55 of their first 100 games for the third time in the last 40 years. The other two times, 1985 and 2015. And they won the World Series.
Better get your plans ready for October and
Pretty
November.
clear what's going to happen now.
There it is.
You know, I'm just glad to know that the home run derby did, in fact, screw up Bobby Witt Jr.
It's all messed up.
He is so messed up now. He only got 3 hits each of the first 3 games back from the All-Star game.
The following is a smart-ass kind of tone.
What did he go, 9 for 11 in that series?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Thank you, my friend.
Good God.
Red hot.
No, good God, man.
Yeah.
White hot.
I don't even there's not even a description for it. Bobby Witt Jr. Man on fire.
Yeah.
We will take a break. Come live, speaking very tenderly and very softly to you back in Kansas City. Stephen St. John live at the Stony Creek Hotel and Conference Center. Todd Leabo, Nate Bukaty, Jake Gutierrez. Do we have an intern?
2.
What interns do we have? We have 2 interns.
Fanboy and Yu are both here.
Yu the intern, Fanboy the intern. We have a full house right here on New Day with SSG on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Yeah, how about that? The boys are playing some ball, huh?
Welcome back to New Day with SSJ.
Yeah.
I'm live at the Stony Creek Hotel and Conference Center. Hot breakfast going on right now for all the wonderful people that are staying here. And practice starts at 9:15 a.m. So looking forward to that. Some of the other hot topics up here at training camp. Again, the weather was outstanding, just wonderful. Justin Reed is not practicing. He's on the NFI list. Leabo, tell us what the NFI list is.
Non-football injury?
Yes, non-football injury, and so there. You can find the clip where Andy talks about it, but he didn't say much.
Really?
And he smart ass. Because they didn't tell us what it was, right?
Yeah, listen.
But then when Jake, you'll have to find that, we'll play it so Leabo can have fun with it. But after the media opportunity was done, Brad G just tell us, and by the way, Justin Reed has a quad. It's a quad.
Quad.
And so, that was surprising, Leabo.
Yeah, it is a little surprising. But, you don't know how everyone's going to show up at camp, right? The guys have been on their own for a while. He was out doing all the stuff during OTAs. This will be a change for all of us. We normally get our injury updates on days when head coach isn't up there, from Ted Cruz, who has now moved on to a bigger job with the Chicago Bears. So is Brad G going to be our little injury guy?
I don't know. He didn't. Yesterday it was just Andy Reid right to the podium and talked about injuries. And so I don't know. Here's Andy Reid on Justin Reed's injury.
Yeah, listen, we're just day by day in it right now, and see how he does. He's very honest with you, and he's not going to hide anything. He's going to make sure he tells you how he's feeling, and so we trust him with that. And then, our Rick will take care of the rest of that. Yeah.
Man, I was so mad at myself. I was going to say, I bet you it's day by day.
But at that point, we didn't know what it was. Like what?
Yeah, that's why I think the rules are they have to tell you at this point of camp, because camp has started. So that's why Brad came and said quad. So.
Whenever Big Red says day by day, though, you got to get. You're like, well, we had one safety that was day by day for an entire year,
forever.
Yeah, I know, of course, I'm very curious. I'd sure like to know what happened.
Well, here's the important part of that. Justin Reed is a smart guy who knows that it's barely the first day of camp. There's no reason to go out and push anything.
And he's a veteran with experience.
Yeah.
He let some of the younger guys get some reps early in camp. It's not going to hurt anybody. But what is the benefit? So is it like if he pulled his quad playing basketball, would he go on the non-football injury list for that?
I think it has to be non-football injury if it happened before any football activities have started, I guess.
Okay.
But I don't know. It could have been just working out.
Because why that designation as opposed to just, he's injured?
There are some rules. That would be a good question for Matt Derrick. He knows all those little deals on what you can do here and there. There's reasons for some of those things, but I guess it has to be a non-football injury. Can you have an extra person in
camp or something like that?
Like they need more people up there. I don't know.
Hey, coaches always want as many as they can get, right?
Oh, they like having a lot of folks up there. I'm just glad you got to see a full field of people, because it was so weird last week, Stephen, with 36 or 37 football players and 70 plus other people on the field with caps and sweats on or whatever. The folks who were out there, support staff on the field, it was just wild looking. Like, we have way too many people helping these 36 or 37 people.
A non-football injury designates an injury that happens at the end of the club's off-season programming and did not occur during team activities.
So something happened.
So he could have been
that.
working out on his own.
Yeah.
But that's what designates a non-football injury.
Yeah. He could have been doing a football activity on his own. But if it wasn't during official team stuff, then I guess it's a non-football injury. Could have been carrying a suitcase up the stairs.
Could have been carrying some deer meat up some stairs.
Could have had.
That's what I mean. It could be anything.
Could have been harvesting a moose, like I saw. You got to be watching alone, Jake. I've been telling you about this show. This guy got a moose. He carried 1,200 pounds of moose meat a mile.
Some good eating.
I had one really mean-spirited tweet from someone.
Oh.
About
on Twitter
about Justin Reed, about accusing Gary Dieter of having something to do with it.
Oh, really?
So Gary Dieter probably took him to play pickleball or something. I don't know. That's not. I don't think you should.
Don't bring Dieter into this.
Right. But he called Dieter a name. Someone that clearly. There he is. It said, I put Justin Reed is dealing with a quad injury. And Ryan responded, Garrick's dumb ass probably had him out playing pickleball. Hey, what?
I was going to say, is that Sherm's Twitter account?
Yeah. Okay, something else. Look, this is going to go back and forth all camp, right? So we don't need to overreact to anything that happens in one individual practice.
But let's do, please.
Okay, here we go. And so there was some buzz when Wanya Morris got the first looks at left tackle.
Oh boy,
with first string. But then Morris. Okay, we've all practiced this. Nate, rookie left tackle. Name him. Say his name. Don't think about it. Just say it.
Not Kingsley. That's easy. Kingsley.
What's his last name? Dude,
say it. Come on, you do it.
You tackle names like more difficult than this.
You're the one who told us what it was.
Yeah.
Do it.
Suamataia.
Yeah,
hey,
buddy.
Good enough.
There you go. What was the hesitation for?
Are you scared?
Anyway, Morris.
Well, first I was trying to remember it.
Morris and Suamataia rotated throughout practice.
Pretty much even, you think?
Okay, so Morris. No. Morris.
Did Ian Book get any reps? Who was in on Ian Book's rep? Wasn't those guys?
I'm not looking at Ian Book. I would probably say I didn't count the reps, so I would say Morris probably got a few more.
Yeah.
But they both got a substantial number of reps.
Yeah, they rotated in with I would say slight edge going to Morris.
I think it's going to be a legit competition, is what it feels like to me.
Well, that's the biggest question mark going on in camp. That's the biggest deal going on in camp.
It was so funny because, Jesse Newell has been pretty adamant that Suamataia is going to start.
Mm-hmm.
And so then he comes in, as soon as we saw Morris out, he comes and sits down next to me, and immediately he goes, after everything I've said about Suamataia, of course Morris goes out there with the ones right off the bat. I go, hey, look, he just rotated in. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
First day of camp.
Because he's just shaking his head. But, hey, you say stuff and you dig in on something, and it'll probably, look, I'm quite sure that they're all privately rooting for Suamataia to win this job. But
I think Matt Derrick said the same thing. You guys went around the room.
Yeah,
on this
they
last
both
week,
dug in on me.
And then Jake
I'm
said
like
it's
Wanya
David
Morris.
Bakhtiari. You're like David Bakhtiari.
No, you should have seen how quickly things change in the media tent. Then you hear, I'm not going to name names. You hear some people, I thought this is what they should have done to begin with. Just put Morris in and let him burn, and so. Okay, here we go. But look, it was just one practice.
Right.
Right, it was just one. But I do think it's interesting that you have a small sample size of what Wanya Morris can do. But, man, how could you really find out enough about Suamataia in training camp and with the limited now number of opportunities in the preseason to really feel certain? Because even when this thing starts, there's going to be a lot of question marks, man. And I just, it's as long as they don't sign David Bakhtiari, so I have to hear it from Jake.
Exactly.
And hear him win his bet that he's made. What was it? What's he plus what?
6-1 odds.
6-1 odds that he signs with the Chiefs. But who knows? But I'm just like, what do you have to see? Like, how bad do things? Because there's a timetable here. Because somebody is gonna sign Bakhtiari in training camp, you would think. And so, like, what would you have to see
Bears
just in
were
training
the
camp?
favorite.
What would you have to see just in training camp to make you hit that button and say, oh, no, we need to sign a veteran? or we need to bring back Donovan Smith.
Well,
You know
I'll
what
tell
I mean?
you
It's
this.
like hard to,
I thought Wanya Morris, while he wasn't great in the couple of games he played last year, he wasn't some sort of disaster.
Right.
So I think you'd have to have an injury to one of these two guys, I think, before they sign someone. I think they like the combination of those two players, Suamataia and Morris, enough to get through the season. I think they do. They'd like to have one of them be better than the other and elevate and be the starter, but I think they like where they are there. Again, Donovan Smith's still sitting around out there too, right?
Correct.
Yes. Yep. Yep. Also, some other notes I thought were interesting. Joe Tooney is not ready yet. He looks close to being ready, but Mike Caliendo was filling in at guard for Joe Tooney, who's on the PUP list right now. And so mark that down because, as you know, we talk about L'Jarius Sneed and we talk about Willie Gay, but one of the biggest losses from last year to free agency is on the offensive line, right? Because the Chiefs had the opportunity to have quality depth on the offensive line, and now they're trying to find out, who that swing guy is, or who the they've got a couple of rookies that they drafted,
Mm-hmm.
and so, what do you think of Mike Caliendo?
Oh, he's fine. Listen, Nick Allegretti was a really functional player at a lot of positions and helped
he
out.
was really good, dude.
But he got a real. He's going to make more money.
He earned a chance to get a starting job somewhere, and there
No,
wasn't
but-
one
but-
available here.
It's great for
But
him.
that's my point. That was such.
It's a luxury to have a player like that who'd been in the system for that long.
He's a
But
starter. in
Caliendo's
this
been
league.
around for a while now, and I think they like you mentioned, they drafted a couple guys who can maybe work into those roles. But Tooney coming back will be a big key for this team. He's eating up a big chunk of the salary cap. He's been a great player for him, but they were able to go win the Super Bowl without him playing.
Right, because of Allegretti. Well, not
because of Allegretti.
Allegretti.
And listen, I think you can probably survive losing a quality player in the interior of the line more than that you could when let's say they played the Super Bowl that Jake never watched, when they had neither one of their tackles. That was a
Right, but
bigger
now,
problem.
Allegretti you had a starter on your bench.
Yes.
And so they're trying to find the new Allegretti. So Caliendo was in for Tooney yesterday. Something else they had and you could find. Let me know if you find this clip, Jake. I'm throwing stuff at you. I apologize, but I'm just trying to go through some of my notes and everything else that happened yesterday. A lot of different punt returners that they were taking a look at out there, and of course Xavier Worthy's one of them. I don't know how you guys feel about that. But also Hollywood Brown was getting some looks out there, and he was, and that's what we asked Andy Reid about afterwards, whether or not Hollywood Brown would legitimately be considered a candidate to be the punt returner. But based on what we saw yesterday, Xavier Worthy, McCole Hardman. One of the guys that I've told you is a favorite of the Chiefs, and a guy that I think has a real chance to make this team, Nico Remigio, who got hurt last year. But if you look at what he did in college, he's an excellent return man, and they like him very much. And so Nico Remigio, also Sky Moore, which I'll be honest, fellas, I don't see a path for that. I don't see Sky Moore making this team right now. I don't. Just with looking what they have, I'd rather have McCole Hardman on the team. McCole Hardman could do more things. And let's just be honest, he did come through in the Super Bowl, and there's a level of comfort with him. And I like the upside of Nico Remigio. Kadarius Toney had a couple of nice plays yesterday, but the first 4 spots in this wide receiving group are taken. And I think that the right number for this team is 6, because I think they should keep 4 tight ends, not because they have to, but because they want to, because it's deep, and you have Kelsey and Noah Gray, and you drafted Wiley, and you bring in Irv Smith Jr. And so it's a numbers game. Are they going to keep the fullback? How does Louis Rees-Zammit fit into all this? But here is so special teams is going to be a big deal. And so here is Andy Reid being asked about Hollywood Brown and punt returning.
Yeah, he might. We give everybody a chance back there, and He's so talented, but if you can get a couple, 3 guys that can do that, you feel comfortable with them. That's a pretty good thing. So we asked him to get back there, and he wants to do that. He wants to play, and he's got a great attitude.
He had not done that. He's not returned punts in the NFL, has he? I've been looking up. So that's a new thing. Just worth a chance to do this during preseason. Check things out. I don't think he did that in college either. So that is, listen, give it a shot. See. You know? I don't know.
I might be screwed. I'm trying to think. Check. Was that question about? It might have been about Xavier Worthy.
Because if it's about Xavier, he did that in college.
No, it was definitely asked about
Okay.
Hollywood Brown. He said that Hollywood Brown was back there returning punts, and that's when he said, we're going to give him some opportunities.
Right. 'Cause I know he was back there, but I can't remember other
He
people's
only,
questions.
like I just looked up, he had one kick
Hollywood
return.
Brown was back returning punts. Do you anticipate that he might play some special teams?
Leabo tries to make me feel like I'm stupid.
Nah, you're not stupid.
No, I didn't try to make you feel like stupid.
No,
I mean,
but I'm
he's
like,
not just done that in the NFL. He's weird 5 years into your career. Oh, why don't you go back and return punts? But try it, you know.
As everyone knows, I have horrible handwriting, so I was trying to jot down some of the stuff that I wanted to recall in the questions or whatever. And so, yeah, it was Hollywood Brown. That's what I was going to ask you. Like, did he do that at Oklahoma?
No.
He's got one kick return.
Got one kick return. I don't remember him being a kick or punt returner in college either. They had a let me look back here. That was 2017, 18. I mean, he's obviously very fast, but he was also hurt for part of the time early in his career there. I don't show him with a C.D. Lamb was on the team as well. He punt returned a lot when he was down there. So I don't think he did that in college either. But, hey, man, this is the time to check it out, see if he can catch the ball.
It's just surprising that he hasn't, because it seems like he has the tools. I mean, when you think about how fast he is and all that, I mean, you just think he'd be a weapon at some point. But why not take a look at him? They've used multiple guys in the past.
And Steven's shutting the door on Sky Moore's career, so.
I mean, you tell me, what do you think that he's a favorite to gain a spot on this team?
No, I do not.
A favorite to go for a 7th-round draft pick.
So, I mean, okay, no, honestly, if you, right now, going into camp, if you had to pick the let's say six receivers, there's no debate about Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, and Justin Watson. Those 4 guys are on the team.
Right. So now you've got Sky Moore, Hardman.
Kadarius Toney, Mecole Hardman, and Nico Remigio.
And Justin Ross is still there.
Justin Ross.
You're only wanting 2 of those guys on the team, not 7. You're going 6.
Seriously, get out of here with Justin Ross.
I'm going 6.
Justin Ross is out.
I'm going 6, but they could go 7.
I think they might go
I think
7.
Kadarius Toney is just because it's $2.5 million whether you cut him or not.
He's on the team.
Well, they went 7 last year.
Yeah, I think they're going to go 7.
If they go 7, then
no fullback.
Then Sky Moore has a much better chance if they go 7. Obviously.
I just don't know what he brings to the table. Like you talk about getting a 7th-round pick for him, and I'm not trying. This sounds like I'm trying to be mean-spirited, but if I'm being objective about it, and I'm the GM of a football team, why would I want him?
Because you liked him out of college. You evaluated his talent. You liked him coming out of college. You think you think you could resurrect his career.
Maybe more opportunities in a different offense.
But to
or
resurrect
something.
somebody's career, that would imply that their career was alive at some point.
Oh.
Like, I've never seen anything from him in an NFL game that made me think, oh, yeah.
Scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
That I could have caught. I mean,
wow.
Still caught it.
I'm just
saying. He still got open, and the play was probably a great design play. He caught
it was. I mean, he
caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
He walked over to the corner of the end zone and turned around and threw it to him.
I'm not challenging the difficulty of the catch and the play. But
so I'm saying, as an evaluator,
but in regular gameplay,
as an evaluator, I've never seen him beat people. Like, oh, look at him get open. I've never seen him show the ability to make a contested catch. When Mahomes has put tough balls on him when they've needed him to, he hasn't been able to catch it.
Mm-hmm.
don't see what he brings. Like, what you look around at NFL wide receivers and you go, holy cow, these guys are incredibly fast. They're incredibly strong. Their hands are incredibly good. It's hard to be an NFL wide receiver. I just don't. What am I missing? Like, what has he shown?
He had, I mean, if you're asking anything he's done in the game,
not much.
He had the great punt return against the Bengals in the AFC Championship game.
He did. But that's 2 years into it, and that's kind of.
I know, but I'm just that's his best moment as a Chief.
You know, people would say that like McCall Hardman's career has been a little underwhelming for what they thought he was going to be, but there are plenty of moments in games where
you can't compare those two.
His speed jumps off the page at you.
We're comparing.
There's a lot of things that disappoint you about what McCall Hardman, his career has been, but when he has the ball in his hands, flying past people, you go, "Oh, that's okay. That's why you want him on your team."
There aren't those moments for Sky Moore.
And he's having a tough time. Like.
He may not be on the team. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'd rather have him on the team easy. I mean, it's not even
not even close.
For the press conferences alone. He's a good talker.
I mean, he's how many is he? What's he? He's got 18 touchdowns in his career. I mean, this is not even. He's Sky Moore wishes he had McCall Hardman's career.
Oh, absolutely. But they're both second-round draft picks, right?
You watch Hardman play, you see something there that is difference-making.
Yeah, and Sky Moore has been very pedestrian, less than pedestrian. Yeah. Now, you and Steven have both cut him. Jake, you somehow got Jake to defend him.
I traded him. I'm trading him.
Trading for 7th round
Trading
pick.
for 7th round
optimistic. I like that.
And he was hurt last year, too. Not a help. Not a help.
I'm just telling you, man, when they lined up yesterday in 11 personnel, and you saw the 3 wide receivers out there with Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, and Hollywood Brown. I'm sorry, I'm salivating.
Yes.
It wasn't Sky Moore out there?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I was salivating. All right.
Lucky they were on the grass. Dog. Yes. Well, they have artificial turf in that tent for you to salivate on.
That's right.
It's like you're having a sake shot at a Japanese dinner.
I'm going to tell you what, man. That was crazy. That gave me a little buzz, too. We'll be right back after this on New Day with SSG on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
New Day with SSJ is presented by Walker Medical Linen Services, locally owned and operated. HLAC certified to the highest medical laundry standards.